Kia ora, my name's Darren, I'm a lead ranger here at Zealandia. George and myself are going to run you through how to play a game really quickly, and this is going to be the simple version. For this video, what we've used is oversized cards, so they're quite big, A3 size. Obviously the cards that you'll be using will look a little bit more like the one that George has there. Cool. So what we're going to do is run you through a simple version of the game. If you have any questions, you can always email us. To start off the game, what you need to do is, if you have any environment cards, put them in play. And by in play, I mean placing them down on the ground. We don't have any environment cards today. They're very rare, so they're quite hard to find. But if you have one, put it down before the game starts, because that affects the whole game. And they're really cool places like Mana Island and Carpetsville. So before you start a game, it's crucial that you start with an odd number of cards. The minimum is 3 cards. So George and I have 4 cards here. I've got the Portari and some other cool ones. You need to pick one to not play with. So I'm going to have a look through here. I want to keep the New Zealand Falcon. I will actually probably get rid of, and I want to keep the Feo as well, and this beautiful Feko, the Laughing Elf. So I'm going to probably get rid of the Portari. So I'm down to 3.
Yeah, and I definitely want to keep the Yellow-Eyed Penguin, the Rudu, and the really powerful Forbes Harrier here. So I'm going to get rid of this guy here.
Cool, so now we've got 3 cards. And just to keep in mind, obviously when we're playing, we're showing you these cards, but in a real game, we're not going to show your opponent what your cards are. So what we'll do is we're going to start a game. Every game has rounds. So in this game there's going to be 3 rounds because we've each got 3 cards. The youngest person starts. Cool? So what I mean by starts, they get to call the round first. And if you looked in the other video, they're going to call 4 different things. They can either call flight, camouflage, special, or nighttime. And nighttime means all 3 numbers together. That's a bit of a tricky one. So George is going to start by calling the round. And good players normally call something they're good at. So if I had this card, the field, I'm not going to call flight because it's got 5. I would like to call camouflage or special. So use the best attributes or stats, these are called stats, of your card. Cool. So we're going to get into a game now. I'm going to have mine slightly tilted away from George so he doesn't know what I'm using. So I know we haven't really explained what happens, but we'll give it a go. We're going to play a round of 3 and see who wins out of myself and George.
Alright, yep. So I start off with the Forbes Harrier and I've got 9, 8, 9. So I want to pick either flight or special. So I'm going to put it face down on the ground and call special.
Cool, so I wouldn't have seen that. George has called special, he's put a card face down. I'm not too sure what's on there. It could be one of the 70 cards, it could be Magpie, it could be Fantail. So I'm looking at my cards and I'm looking down here and I don't want to use my field yet, but my card area, my Falcon's pretty special. So what I'm going to do is put that face down on the ground, or it might be a table. And then what happens there, once both players have put their cards face down, you say what your bird name is. So I'm going to say Karere or Falcon, you can use English or Te Reo Māori, and then we flip them over. So we're going to flip these over. Cool. So if we have a quick look at it straight away, we've just George called special. We're not using the abilities, we're just using the numbers. I can see that I've got special 8. George has the beautiful Forbes Harrier, he's got 9, so he wins by 1 point. So what I do is I put my card face down on the table. I can't use it again for the game, so I'm putting that face down. George puts his up. So
face up.
In essence, he's winning 1-0 at the moment. So he's up 1-0. I've only got 2 more rounds left, so I'm going to have to win the next 2 to have any chance of winning this game. So now I'm calling. So I've got these 2 cards left. I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to call nighttime. So I call nighttime, and I put my card face down.
Now, nighttime, I've got the Rudu, the Morpork, and this bird is actually nocturnal, so I've got quite a good set. So 7, 7 and 4, so that's 18.
Cool. So he's putting that down. He's trying to use his best nocturnal card or nighttime card. We're going to put, I've got Feko or the Laughing Elf. Cool, so I've got 8 plus 8, that's 16, plus 8, that's 24. 24 is a pretty good score, because this beautiful bird was actually, it's extinct now, but it was a nocturnal bird, it was an owl. just like George's voodoo. So George actually got a pretty good score too. 7 plus 7, that's 14, plus 4 is 18, but not as powerful as this fair code the last thing up. So I won that round there. So we've got, it's 1-1, and it's the final round. George is up.
So I've got the yellow-eyed penguin here. Now camouflage and special are both 8, so I choose one of them, and I'm going to go with camouflage this round.
Cool, so I've got the field, which is actually pretty good. It's got a good camouflage and good special. We're going to place these down. I'm going to show you a rule of the game that might happen. So in this round, it's 1-1, and I'm going to put my field down. If I put the card down though, and we both have to flip over now, we have to name that bird. So George starts.
There you go.
Cool. Just to highlight there, if I forget what the bird is, or I can't name what the bird is, so I forgot that it was the field, or I don't know that it was the blue duck, then I lose the round. I have to put that card face down. So I don't know what this card is, I can't flip it over, that means I get a 0, and George wins the round because he's got 8 camouflage. So on that last round, I forgot what the card was. That means that George wins the game 2-1. Cool. Normally that doesn't happen because I know most of you know all your birds, especially for your own cards, you'll get to know some of these birds. So make sure that your opponent calls what that bird is before they flip it over. That's a really important element of the game. As I said before, that's a simple version. If you feel up to it, start using the abilities, which is super cool, and make the game even more interesting.